us everything. All set? Alrighty, I'll call the July 14th Pleasant Ridge City Commission meeting to order. Could I have the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could we have a roll call?
Mayor Scott,
Here.
Commissioner Budnick,
Here.
Commissioner Lenko,
Here.
Commissioner Perry,
Here.
Commissioner Schmier.
Here.
All right. Public discussion. Any items? Wow, this may be a quick one tonight.
Did you just jinx us?
Brett!
Darn it.
Mayor!
All right. Why don't we start with City Commission liaison reports? I don't see the school board here tonight, so we'll wait until the next meeting for that one. And we'll move on to Commissioner Lanko for Planning and DDA.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Planning Commission DDA is a short one. We don't have an update. The next meeting is the end of the month, the final Monday of, we meet quarterly. It's the final Monday of the month on a quarterly basis in these chambers at 7 o'clock. So July 27th at 7 o'clock we'll meet, and in the next City Commission meeting we'll have a real update.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Schmier.
Thank you, Mayor. I was just checking the dates. So the Historical Museum will be open this Saturday, the 18th, from 10 until 12. So I know last month was hopping. Lots of people came in. And it was a ton of fun. I keep hearing from people how much they enjoyed coming in or going in. And I know one person in particular has siding on her house and was there and actually looked in her folder and found out that her house was red brick underneath the siding.
Oh, really?
So, I know. So
That's
stop.
cool.
I know, isn't it? Stop by the Historical Museum. If you ever can't make the museum opening, reach out to the Historical Commission, and they are always available to set up a time. And that's it. The historical meeting was pushed to this Thursday, so I don't have an update on the meeting. But come to the museum this Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Budnick, Recreation.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, all the other junior commissions are on sabbatical. The Recreation Commission
Hard at work.
is going,
You're doing it for all of
is
us.
doing double time. Shawnee and the crew are actually at a staff and LIT appreciation dinner and party tonight, so that's why where they are, because all of their staff works tremendously hard to do
Right.
all of the programming and execute all of the lovely things that they do. Commissioner Lenko mentioned tomorrow night is the Ice Cream Social, well-attended event. So that's on the pool deck. That's from 6 to 8. It's free for everybody. Robert Campbell graciously sponsors this and has done for the last few years. And something new this year, we're going to have a photo booth, which will be kind of fun.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
we're gonna have that as well, in addition to the Oakland County Parks brings a climbing tower, so that'll be back by popular demand, and a bounce thing, typically with water hooked up, so that would be perfect for a hot day. So join us tomorrow. The youth soccer deadline is tomorrow night, the 15th. So that's for U4 through U13, and this you get your jersey, your socks, and you get to participate in some PR youth soccer. So it's $70 and register by tomorrow. And games go September 10th through October the 29th. Game days are always Saturday morning, typically, unless there's a rain out. Sometimes they're Sundays. I believe this is a new one. Jazz Night is coming to the pool deck. So I think this is a new one. This is on Thursday, July the 23rd. This is from 7 to 8:30. Once again, that's the 23rd. So a relaxing summer evening at the pool as a talented local Ferndale band fills the air with some smooth jazz.
Oh, it's live? Right on.
Yeah, I'm channeling some Alan Almond. So no registrations required for this one. And Katie, you can use all 35 of your guest passes if you'd like for this one. They can be used for this event, so have at it. That sounds kind of fun. The annual Synchro show. This is another
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah, it's so cute to see all the kids participate into this one. So that's coming up. That'll be on the 29th at 7 p.m. So tons of PR kids will be participating, and this is a show of the decade. So that will be, once again, the 29th, 7 o'clock. You can also drop in for water aerobics if you're interested. These classes are Monday through Thursday at 12 o'clock p.m. or Saturdays at 10 a.m. And adult exercise classes are always ongoing, so drop in and try something new if you're interested. And also, if you haven't done so, check out the Huntington Woods Library. Such a nice little gem that we are part of. And they have summer reading programs. They have painting, all kinds of great stuff there. They have a little kids area that my girls love, and it's just a fantastic little gem. And last, Shawnee wrote a little note that Kaya and Shawnee are both incredibly proud of their profession and honored to serve this community and grateful for their outstanding staff. The summer programs and events simply wouldn't be possible without the dedication and commitment of our part-time team, and they truly feel fortunate to work in the most pleasant of cities in the state, if not the country. So, yeah, they
That's
do.
nice.
Once again, this is
Yeah.
their Super Bowl right now from June through August. So they're cranking away, and I always see them. They're always at the pool. They're always working. They're always doing stuff. So if you see them, say hi, say thanks.
I was at the dog
Right.
park. They showed
Yeah.
up there.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. So, Rec Commission meets the last Wednesday of this month. So that is the 29th at 7 p.m. in the big room at Four Ridge. And I think that's it.
All right. That's a lot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Perry,
Thank
the
you,
Arts
Mayor.
Council.
Yay. So the Arts Council met and we had a good discussion about just an update on the mural that's in the works down at the DPW building. The artists have been working late at night. A lot of times they don't even start till 11 or 12 because it's so hot. And so I've taken them a couple box fans and ice water and all that. I mean, it's very weird weather, but it's so fun every day to sort of see an update of what's going on. So they're working away. And then the Arts Council was also talking about some future projects in the last meeting and just sort of figuring out, what's next and keeping everything rolling. Our next meeting is going to be tomorrow, July 15th, 4:30 p.m. right here. So come by if you can. Thanks.
Thank you. Ahead of the
Anything
ice cream
else?
social.
Yeah.
And if you haven't had an opportunity to go look at the mural, I recommend everybody see it, even as it is in its incomplete state. It's really a special thing. I actually like to look at it about 1 a.m. I mean, just stay up late one night, walk by there's something about the colors right now
Yeah.
with the midnight hue and the moon hitting it. And there are certain angles where you can see where the trees of the painting connect with the actual trees that are in the background. It just done a beautiful job. I highly recommend everybody just taking a quick walk by daytime or nighttime.
And the artists have been so touched by the interaction they've had with the residents. They're like, "Oh my gosh, this park is magical." He's like constantly people walking, biking, taking dogs, running by, and everybody has been really nice and supportive. Lots of kids with questions, lots of adults with questions. So it's been a part of it that I don't think we fully appreciate as an arts council is the interaction with the city, that people would sort of get to see the progress and stuff, which is very unnerving for the artists, but it is very
still cool.
It's been really heartwarming for them to hear all the good feedback. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to governmental reports. Police, fire, guests. Go right ahead.
All right. So I had a little fun today because I wanted to promote everybody staying safe with these heat waves. So I actually drove around. I did miss Gainsborough Park. I apologize. I grabbed my admin assistants. I had an hour. I was trying to drive around. I went through Ferndale, hit most of the parks. I missed some of theirs too. went to the pool and walked around the pool deck and handed out water bottles to everybody who was there.
Thank
And
you.
then Royal Oak Township too. So biggest thing is we were trying to, for anybody who was out, and we went out like right before noon. So I'm like, anybody who's out in the middle of the day, we wanted to promote like be hydrated, drink
Yeah.
water, like. And when I was talking to parents, I'm like, we get so focused on taking care of our kids. A lot of times we forget to take care of ourselves. I know I've done that myself. So I was like, promoting to the parents, I'm like, don't forget about yourself. Like, you're drinking your water and your electrolytes on that too. So that was kind of fun. And we do have, water bottles we got in for giveaways. I was like, it's a perfect day. Promote. So some people saw us driving around. So if you heard about us at the pool today, that's why we were there. We just stopped in impromptu and we're handing stuff out. But let's just remind people this. We've had a lot of heat waves this summer. They're still going. This week is going to be brutal. The humidity's less, but the temperatures are up. So just remember, take care of yourself. Limit your exposure out if you can. People that don't have air conditioning in their homes, remember the cooling centers is a place you can go. Ferndale Library, the other libraries, malls, stores, restaurants. Different businesses to get a break. Look out for your neighbors too. Think about vulnerable neighbors that might be more affected by heat. Remember, our children and our seniors can be impacted a lot quicker, maybe than we can. And don't forget about our fur babies. So if there's people that generally leave their dogs outside for a long time or pets all the time, think about that because that may not be a great thing right now because they can be overcome too. So just be great neighbors to each other, stewards, and take care of yourself. And if you're having symptoms, you don't think you feel well, whatever, call us. That's what we're there for. I know we got real busy with the storms. I know Pleasant Ridge really took some damage. Ferndale really took some damage. We had some big trees. I know I was sitting out here on a down power line right off our Ridge Road for a couple hours, and big trees down everywhere, and people did a great job. And we were getting reported to DT and working with them to get them to the priority, help them prioritize to get them there. But I know it can be very frustrating for people as far as, hey, my power's out, get here now, and they don't understand that how widespread it was. But I feel like the community did an amazing job tolerating that and not getting like too upset. They were very understanding and worked with us. There's always going to be complaints that people have. Believe me, we had people calling us back because they felt like if they called us back, we can make DT like materialize and be there to fix their stuff faster. And I had to explain that's not how that works. So we can escalate things. We come on and we help them evaluate: is there a primary down, a secondary? Is there a service line? Is there a metal fence touched? Is there danger? Is it close to a school? So a lot of that triage, the fire department, we actually help do that. We have an app that shows it's us reporting it, and we can include pictures, everything, so they can see exactly what we're seeing at and be able to dispatch resources. So that's why we like when people call us on the front end, because it helps us get inventory of what we have, and it also helps DT get a better assessment of the area before they even get on ground to know where they need to put resources. So it was a long couple days. But thank goodness we had some trees that actually came into houses, stuff, and no injuries. So thankful for that. So that's my biggest thing. If anybody has any questions for me, otherwise just stay safe.
Any questions?
Thank you.
No, but thank
for
you.
bringing the
Thanks,
water.
Chief.
Yeah, and
problem.
for your help with
You're
the
reminding me.
trees.
I guess I should. So, since Representative Lena Scott is behind me tonight, so you guys know Pleasant Ridge was very generous to buy some recliners for my firefighters because our stuff gets a little rough, right? And I have amazing men and women who work for me that come in, and most people, if you walked into our stations, you'd be like, I would not stay here. And they work in there, they live there, they don't complain, and they do their jobs. Representative Scott worked really hard for us, along with support from Senator McMorrow, and they were able to get $500,000 to put toward us rehabbing Fire Station 1. So we had our first walkthrough meeting today, and we're gonna have a series of meetings and figure out how we can make some important, like our HVAC system is terrible, but even like we don't have good safety things for my firefighters to even take showers after a fire. They have one shower stall in the men's bathroom that was a toilet stall that was converted to a shower, and there's we're supposed to decon 1 hour after a fire, and they're taking turns like waiting for that one shower, and they don't complain about any of it, and they deserve so much better. So thank you to Representative Scott's hard work. She was able to get it done. This has been about a year and a half in the works of us working on this, and I can't appreciate their support enough. So we have $500,000, and City of Ferndale is going to add some money to that, and we're going to see what impact we can make to our headquarter fire station for the firefighters. So that's very exciting.
That is awesome.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool. Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How is everybody on this hot evening?
Hot.
Yeah.
Very hot, exactly. So I'm State Representative Helena Scott. I represent this wonderful district, which is part of House District 8. I also represent part of Wayne County and also Ferndale and Pleasant Ridge. And I've done so since 22. But I've been in the State House since 21, and I'm in my 6th year running for re-election for my 4th term. So I just wanted to kind of get that in there. Good news, we did pass the budget, unlike last session that it lingered on to the fall. So that was wonderful. You heard about the good news for Ferndale. It's a little bad news for Pleasant Ridge for the appropriations. I know that I was advocating for the police station funding. Wasn't able to get it this time. But remember last time I got $1.8 million for the water infrastructure. So you can kind of balance it out a little bit, right? So I was very happy I was able to do that for Ferndale. We'll definitely continue to advocate for Pleasant Ridge. There will be a supplemental. I can't say that it'll be granted in that, but I will definitely put it in a request as well for the budget. Also want to let you know that I've been working on some legislation as well. There's some legislation called Tobacco Free Kids. As you know, we really have a problem with our kids with vaping and being accessible to tobacco and cigarettes at an earlier age. And so now we're pushing for that to be 21 as opposed to 18. Also working on PPOs to make it cost-free for the victims so that they can really kind of escape their abusers, whether male or female. And then also I'm part of the what is it called? Gun Prevention Violence Caucus. I'm the vice chair, and I'm working on gun reform. So we want to have a 3-day waiting period for people that are accessing weapons, and kind of like a cooling off period so that maybe we can prevent some of this gun tragedy that we're having in society. And so other than that, I am also running for re-election, as I mentioned earlier. Got a little bit of a fight, so really appreciate your support. I just want you to know that I really cherish and honor the fact that I represent this community and also Ferndale and Oakland County, and I want to be able to continue to do that. I'm running for my 4th term. I can run up to 6 times, and so hopefully I'll get reelected and be able to continue to represent you and advocate for you on your behalf. It was mentioned earlier about DTE. I also had an opportunity to help a few residents in Pleasant Ridge. On Wellesley and Devonshire, their power was out for multiple days. I was former chair of energy in the last session when we had the trifecta, and still have some of those relationships and was able to kind of garner on that and expedite some things for some residents and get their power turned back on. So really happy to do that. So any questions for me at all?
Yes, please.
No, I wanted to thank you for that because the residents were feeling so just like helpless
I
and
know.
frustrated. And when you came out and actually, knocked on their door, you really helped them feel like people are hearing them, and stuff started to turn around very quickly after that.
Thank you.
And that it made a huge difference.
I appreciate that. And there are a lot of times because I have Wayne County and Oakland County, unless somebody lets me know what's happening.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you reached out and you were able to tell me a few people that didn't have power. I definitely came out. I called and got on DTE. They've got a lot of work to do. I did hold a resiliency and accountability tour 3 years ago across the state, held them accountable for some things. They did make some changes, but we know they have a long way to go still, right? And so I was happy to be able to mitigate that and have people come out and restore their power. And we're working on some compensation as well.
Well, I think that is one of the cool things that I think a lot of times residents, we don't always realize that it's like, oh, we can reach out, and
Yeah.
you guys, and you have helped in many different circumstances, help
Yeah.
people with, organizations, and that, makes a difference.
It does, and it's part of my job. I love doing it. It's part of building relationships, and you don't want to cut people off, even though you may have a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
Right? You work with them to try to resolve things and make sure you get things done for your constituents, and that's what I like to do.
Well,
And I recommend this of everyone, and it's true up and down the slate of people that are supporting us now. I know we have an election on the table. We have people supporting us now, and we are very fortunate to have people that pick up the phone. They'll send a text back.
Right.
They will respond to your questions, even if there's a disagreement. So if there is something you want to see done, don't be afraid to reach out.
Right.
You can't blame them for not doing things if you never contacted them and
Right.
asked them for what you want. So
That's right.
absolutely, write them, ask them for what you want,
That's right.
and they'll work on it for you.
And I will say that they were very grateful. I spoke to Jim Luttrell. He has my cell phone number. He's like, "Is this your cell phone number?" I'm like, "Yeah, so many people have my cell phone number." He's calling me at 10:30 at night. I was like, "It's fine, no problem. I'm going to answer." So, yeah, I was happy to be able to do it.
One other quick question for you there. I saw some legislation about data center noise.
Yes, I am part of a package. We're putting guardrails together for, we know the data centers are coming, not coming to House District 8, luckily, because there's no open space to be able to accommodate that. But we are getting guardrails together. So I do have a noise ordinance where they have to make sure that they do a study and talk to the residents and really do a study on the noise variables before they do a project for a data center.
Thank you.
So yeah,
Great.
thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see
You're
you.
welcome. Anything else? It's good.
No?
All right. Well, I've got to go drop off some signs.
Okay. The job is
So,
never done.
Never done, but that's okay. I enjoy it. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Police.
Good evening.
Evening.
Each month on this Tuesday, I always look through the daily logs and decide what we're going to update you guys on and let everybody know about how things went for the month. This month, besides the storm damage, there wasn't much. I thought, am I going to talk about scams again? No, I bug you guys constantly about scams. Said I'd talk about annualcreditreport.com. Make sure you check your credit report. However, as I sat in the back row, I got a email from Department of Health and Human Services about one of our residents that they're concerned about that was sending wire transfers for crypto. And it looks like a little over 10 grand. So we'll be investigating that tomorrow. So if you have people, apparently this came through the phone, someone cold calling, if that's the case. Anyone calling you, reaching out by email, phone, text message, trying to get you to talk, trying to get you to send money, please don't, especially crypto. Wire transfers, once that money is gone, it's gone. We cannot get it back. If it's a ACH clearing, we may be able to assist you, but we have to know within 24, 48 hours. So look out for your people, your family members. If you have weird conversations and transactions that are going, if you monitor some of your elderly parents or grandparents, give us a call. We'll try and help you out. Other than that, lock your doors. It was a very quiet month besides the storm damage, which was great. Our officers are out there patrolling as always, so please wave to them, say hello, get to know our officers. Our officers know you guys. So any questions I can answer for you?
Questions?
No, thanks to them also for, your officers were great during the crazy tree stuff because it just everything just blew up fast. And
Officer Baroki was keeping me updated on what was going on, but when I came back to work, he said he was actually walking out in the lot and he heard a crack, and he looked behind at and all of a sudden a tree went, and he was like, well, that must be an old tree. That's weird. And then all of a sudden he said it just pushed down and all the dust came up around him, and all of a sudden it went crack, 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 and he ran back in to grab his vest and get in the car because he knew it was hitting. So said it was a weird phenomenon, and
it was really weird. I had run out to my patio because I thought it was going to rain and pulling something in, and I realized my umbrella was up, so I was trying to take it. Wind was crazy. It was so loud.
He said it pushed down from above. He'd
Yeah.
never experienced that before. So.
It did, and the umbrella seriously almost was lifting. I luckily got it just sideways to the ground.
Mary
But
Poppins.
I know, it's a heavy umbrella.
Ann Poppins.
Yeah, we're just glad everybody
But
was safe
thank
and no
you.
one was injured in that because it
Yeah.
could have gone really bad really quick.
They were
So,
great.
Excellent. Good
Thank
to hear.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. May I have a motion?
Mayor, I move that the consent agenda be approved.
I second.
May we have a vote?
Commissioner Schmier,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner Budnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Lenko,
Yes.
Mayor Scott.
Yes, the motion carries. And we'll move on to item 8, DNR permitted rehabilitators discussion.
Thank you. There's an updated memo in the packet that addresses new information since last month, mostly discussions with Griffin Corican, the DNR Conservation Officer for Oakland County who oversees wildlife rehabilitation permits. So there is a link to wildlife permit rehabbers on the DNR website. That's linked in the packet. There's no list of sub-permittees. You have to get those from the individual permit holders. Information in here about what the process is to become a full permit holder. That includes an application investigation by the conservation officer to inspect facilities. The DNR wildlife rehab permits cover all small mammals, which are legal to rehabilitate, as well as, in some cases, deer fawn, bears. Birds and other federally protected species require a federal permit on top of the DNR permit. And after certification, rehabilitators holding either a full or sub permit are subject to random inspections, but Griffin indicated that the DNR generally only conducts follow-up inspections after receiving complaints. There are cage and facility size requirements per species and age. Those are set by federal wildlife rehabilitation regulations. I included some information on that in your packet, so you can reference that if you like. But generally, small mammals such as possum or raccoons usually have minimum 4x4 or 4x8 minimum size for outdoor enclosures. And I think it's 4 feet tall as well. So the rehabilitation permit application form, minimum housing guidelines, and DNR inspection checklist forms are included with all the information that they require when going through the DNR portion of that permitting process. The rest of the memo after the beginning part, which is highlighted in the gray block, that's all the same as last month, just repeated for having everything in one place. So that's the follow-up from last month. Continue to look for direction from the City Commission on next steps.
I have thoughts.
Sure.
Mayor. Thank you very much for putting this together. My thoughts are that we move to allow this. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking. It's the heat. Blame the heat. I like the operational requirements that were put in here, that were sub-permittee only, no public contact with any animal or child. I'm assuming, did I read child? No public contact with animal undergoing rehab, no exterior signage, no change to a residential character of the property, compliance with all DNR standards, sub-permittee must be owner-occupied, neighbor consent. I also think we should add in here that once people have gone through the DNR process and been primarily or preliminarily, thank you, approved by DNR, that they do have to come to the City Commission for a final stamp of approval. But beyond that, I think small animals and, following the DNR standards and with our own operational requirements and the added of City Commission final approval.
Any other thoughts?
No, I think that's especially a good idea if it's not like a defined list of sub-processors or whatever you call them.
Permittees?
Right, like that, they would come to City Commission, so we're at least aware of them. But yeah, I obviously support to move forward with adjusting this rule to allow them to continue their work. The one thing that was still, I think, left to be defined is like the volume or the content or like the count of animals, which I don't think the count is gonna be the right approach.
I had that question.
Right, like, as Jim put, like, if there's a pregnant opossum that comes, I mean, like, it's gonna be different than a pregnant raccoon, right? Like, these animals all have different litter sizes, so maybe limit it to like, whatever, a reasonable amount of animals for the cage, according to the DNR.
Yeah, I would suggest we just defer to the DNR because it's going to require a DNR permit. So as much as possible, when they handle something, I think we just defer to them.
Awesome. Thank you. And then sub-permittee is like a well-defined term, like we don't need to define this, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's well-defined by DNR.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important point. I think, because at the last meeting, it sort of came up, someone was asking at the end, and I don't think we really clarified, is you have to have a permit. You have to go through a DNR thing. There is no just individual saying, oh, but I want to, just, because I love possums, I'm going to rehab this one that a neighbor had on my own. That it is illegal. And so we want to reiterate that this is a very regulated process. And so no cowboys.
Yeah.
One thing, if I may. You said neighbor consent, but with a city commission approval process, I don't believe neighbor consent is necessarily the right way to go. Maybe neighbor notification that this will be considered at a city commission meeting.
To trigger that. For
And
the
then they
neighbors.
can come
If
to
they-
a notice and they will be at these, so they can
Public
come.
When you have a city commission approval process, it's discretionary by nature, so, yeah, I don't think consent would be.
So neighbor notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mayor, I agree with all of it. It was nice to take a peek through everything, and the additional information was helpful just to cross the Ts, dot the Is, and just really understand it all better. I think it makes sense, and what Commissioner Schmier and Lenko had asked all makes sense too, so.
Right.
And once again, the folks in question here are not the problem. We're always looking for.
the problem. Wait, we don't want to be a problem.
No, it's we look for those unintended
Exactly.
consequences.
Yes.
And that is what we are,
And loopholes.
yes, we are trying to prevent things
Right.
that are unintended, so.
And with something this regulated, I think we needed a month or two just to become familiar and bring everybody up to speed on what's already been defined for us.
Right.
And then we could layer on our own requirements on top of that. The only question I had, Jim, and maybe you know, I didn't see Motor City Possum on the list of primary, so it could be by name and not by organization.
I can answer that. It doesn't have to be publicly noticed.
Could you-
Sorry. God damn it, you think it was 3 times.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Liz Flager. I live at 32 Woodside.
Thank you.
I had also seen that in the letter, and I want to thank you very much for all your hard work. I do really appreciate it. Griffin's great. If you ever need a DNR officer, give that man a call. You do not have to publicly put your name on that list. So you could call the DNR and ask if Motor City Possum is a licensed rehabber, but you don't have to put your name. We are so busy that they do not put her choices to not have her name listed there. We don't need the publicity.
Sure,
we get
sure.
so many calls anyways that there's no reason for her to have it out there like that.
Right. So, Jim, the only thing I would add would be that check to make sure that the primary permittee is actually licensed.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I believe would be the case because a subcommittee
yeah.
would be reviewed and vetted by the DNR.
Right.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to check with Griffin on is, the mechanics of the DNR permit for a subcommittee versus in the timing for when
One expires and
one, or the city commission where we get at what point it's tagged were it to consider the local approval. I'll work that out with Griffin on the best
Okay.
language and timing for that, but regardless, things won't be coming to you until it's
all buttoned up.
all buttoned up at the DNR
Okay.
in one form or another.
Okay, that's the only question I had. So.
Also, I would just like to say that the 4 babies that we had this year have now been released. So they're out and about, and it was considering, I think Jim tried to send the pictures to you.
Yes, I
Considering
got
that
it. Yeah.
when we got them, they fit in the palm of your hand and had to be in an incubator. I think both Jim and I feel pretty proud that we were able to, they weren't expecting them to survive. So the fact that all 4 of them survived and thrived and are released, I think we feel pretty proud about that. So.
Congrats.
Yeah,
thank
they
you.
they were adorable.
Yeah. Jim, do you need us to vote? Are you okay moving forward without a vote? Just to, because you're going to present us with something
We
anyway.
have to vote to do a public hearing.
What I would suggest is, since we're probably scheduling another public hearing on a separate ordinance, and given the cost of publishing notices in the newspaper, we try to combine them as much as possible. I would ask, based on what we've discussed tonight, which I have good notes, that you vote to schedule a public hearing on the ordinance, which I'll write and have ready for you at the next meeting.
Okay.
But if you want to, I would consider this to be an introduction of the ordinance
Okay.
in this case, and just vote to schedule the public hearing for August.
Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion?
Mayor, I move that a public hearing be established for Tuesday, August 11th, 2026 at 7:30 p.m. to solicit public comments on the proposed wildlife amendment ordinance? Is that correct?
Second?
Did I say that right?
Wildlife rehabilitation?
Rehabilitation amendment or just ordinance?
Sub-permittees.
Sub-permittee.
Yes. I understand.
There are a lot of words there for you to play with, Kirsten.
Okay, maybe we are the problem.
It's the heat.
Jim is winking, so I know he's thinking.
He
We'll
has
make it-
something in his eye.
We'll make it work.
Okay.
Sorry, thank you.
Any other thoughts before we? All right, let's take a vote.
Commissioner Schmier?
Yes.
Commissioner Lenko?
Yes.
Commissioner Budnick?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Scott?
Yes, the motion carries. Thank you for bringing this to us.
Thank you
Yes,
very
thank you.
much for the consideration. It means the world to us.
That's cool.
So I appreciate, and as a lifelong resident, 100% wanting to get it right.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, Pat.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. On to item number 9, noise ordinance amendments.
Yeah, here's another one, surprise. So we've had, I guess it's been simmering for a while, but we've had an issue with our current ordinance language, 3421 of City Code. And a number of times where some specific language has been cherry-picked out of this section, which really isn't the intent or the meaning of the section. It's like kind of quoting a Bible verse out of context. So it's time to fix this. And I'm going to read the existing ordinance language just, for full clarity. But Section 3421 says use of any loudspeaker, amplifier, or other instrument or device, whether stationary or mounted on a vehicle, for any purpose is prohibited unless used in accordance with the following. The only sounds permitted are music or human speech. Operations are permitted for 4 hours each day, except Sundays and legal holidays, when none are authorized. The permitted 4 hours are between the hours of 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m., and between 4:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Sound amplifying equipment mounted on vehicles shall not be operated unless the sound truck upon which such equipment is mounted or operated at a speed of at least 10 miles an hour, except when the truck is stopped or impeded by traffic. Sound shall not be issued within 100 yards of hospitals, schools, churches, or courthouses. The volume of sound shall be controlled so that it will not be audible for a distance in excess of 100 feet from the sound amplifying equipment, and so that the volume is not unreasonably loud, raucous, jarring, disturbing, or a nuisance to persons within the area of audibility. And no sound amplifying equipment shall be operated with an excess of 15 watts of power in the last stage of amplification. This is a 1950s issue. It was actually in the 40s. Sound trucks, when this went to the Supreme Court, and it was for political or religious campaigning. It was a truck with a giant speaker on top that they drive around and talk about things. This went to the Supreme Court twice for these regulations. So our regulations are model standards that were adopted across the country in response to this one specific problem. But now we have, no amplified sound outside of these hours, and it's been cited against us at varying times, and it's not really appropriate to apply that to things that have nothing to do with the sound truck. So, I mean, that's exactly what it was. So we're also looking at, while we're in here, amending section 3423. That's construction, our construction ordinance. We also have 1950s standards in our construction ordinance. It relies on this very complex octave band decibel table, which requires specialized meters and analysis and analysts that we don't have. It's basically impossible to enforce. Most communities have also moved away from these standards. It's also a standard we've never used because we can't. So the new noise provisions, establishing objective A-weighted decibel limits. There's a handheld sound meter you use. It measures dBA at the slow response rate. Those would be 65 decibels between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. and 55 decibels between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. At the property line, at the receiving property line. There is an ambient noise adjustment in the proposed ordinance, which says you can be 5 decibels above ambient because Woodward is 60 to 62 decibels, just background. Same thing for 696. So you have to adjust for something that's always present. Construction standards are moved to a set hours for construction, and then there's a best practices. You have to have, all the required mufflers and other things that are required by EPA and other FHWA, other federal entities that set standards for those. There are permits, variances, and event exemptions. So city events are exempt from the noise standards until 11 p.m. So these are a summary of our neighboring neighboring communities, and we. I'm sorry. This is a.
It's an eye chart. It's okay.
No, here we go. This is the right one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was working on this today. So the proposed standard for us is 65 decibels. That matches up with Huntington Woods. It's very typical. Our current standards is the modern noise ordinance from the state of Michigan. It's not distinguishing between amplified sound or non-amplified sound. It's just sound. And 65 decibels daytime, 55 overnight is very typical. Some communities go for less. Ann Arbor, I don't know how you enforce 55 decibels. It's really quiet. But 65, 55 is the most common number for sound at the property line. Receiving property line is how you measure this under these standards. We do have some other provisions in place exempting local events. That's also a very common standard. Everyone who adopts a noise ordinance exempts schools for the marching band or rec events or anything else that's a community event. We're responsible for that. And if we're being egregious in our violation of noise ordinance, then the city commission will hear about it. So. That's the summary. So this ordinance is for introduction, for scheduling for public hearing for August, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any thoughts or questions?
Makes sense.
Makes sense. I think the only thing I mentioned to Jim, which it hadn't occurred to me until seeing that picture and others, is technically ice cream trucks with music are against the law right now if they play the music. So
Right.
we probably want to think about making ice cream trucks okay. Just
Well,
a little
does
bit,
that have-
and they might be okay.
One standard I was looking at today that I think I'll add to the ordinance is Huntington Woods uses a standard where the sound has to be continuous for a minute. So if it's an ice cream truck that drives down the street in the middle of the day, you're going to have 10 or 12 seconds of the noise, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
So that's also a fairly common standard that Huntington Woods has that is common amongst these ordinances where it's got to be consistent for a minute.
Right.
So dog barking, you can also put in a standard where it's consistent for a minute or for 2 minutes out of 10. Because if it's a dog that's barking constantly, that is a problem. And we do have other standards in there. We have nuisances that talk about audible and distinct and annoying. So there's a distinction that can be made in between the ordinances we already have and this objective sound ordinance. In any case, an objective standard that you can measure and document is superior. But sometimes it takes discretion when regulating these things. And we do have the discretionary clauses, which are already existent, also cited in this ordinance, referenced, cross-referenced to those as well. So the police often regulate or deal with these now based on the audible and distinct and nuisance provision, because it's not amplified.
Right.
So the current standards are dealing with the issue is always the amplified sound.
noise,
So
yeah.
when we had the swim meet issue is because, the starter was announcing the heat, and it was a mess. So,
Would it then also apply to like bicycle, like you think like the slow rolls will sometimes have music going, or like motorcycles, they've got
yeah.
big speakers.
Yeah, and it comes and it goes.
All right.
But that would be, yeah. If you want to complain about the slow roll, then.
Oh, not a complaint, I'm just trying to figure out.
Yeah,
but
right.
that
If there's
also-
some-
Not you. but,
Yeah, kosher.
No, I think it makes sense, and I appreciate the time today because I did have a few questions just about how it exists with our discretionary noise. So I appreciate you taking the time to explain it. And yeah, I think this is good. And I would also be open to adding, if once you look into it, potentially what Huntington Woods did about the continual sound, which also would then affect the potential slow roll.
Yeah.
So
All right.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
Can we have a motion?
So we're adding-
Mayor, I move that a public hearing be established for Tuesday, August 11th, 2026 at 7:30 PM to solicit public comments on the proposed noise ordinance amendments.
Second?
Can we have a vote?
Commissioner Budnick?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Commissioner Lenko?
Yes.
Commissioner Schmier?
Yes.
Mayor Scott?
Yes, the motion carries. Thanks. And I would recommend to folks that if you, I know that some neighbors are still concerned about the noise on Woodward Avenue. There's been some legislation that has been proposed by State Rep Natalie Price. Reach out to her office and ask her about it. It's there. It's available to read. That's an issue unto itself that I know a lot of communities are attempting to deal with.
Which unfortunately, this ordinance will not
Will not
help
deal with, exactly.
Can't.
Yes.
Right.
All right, city managers report.
Yes. And thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
A few things, we had a fun week last week. I would like to recognize Davey, because they really always go above and beyond. We called him on Friday, after, in the immediate aftermath, and the next day was Saturday, the 4th of July. Our Davey arborist was in Indiana camping, and he managed to cobble together a crew to come in on the 4th of July to get, the bulk of the main triage work done. We got Wellesley opened up because we did have a couple of very large old oaks that we lost there, unfortunately.
Devonshire, too.
Devonshire too, yeah. So they came in on the 4th of July and got a lot of that work done. And so then they were here all week last week getting cleaned up. And yeah, they've gone above and beyond even be cleaning up city trees in some instances. So we're appreciative of them. We do have a supplemental street sweeping scheduled. The streets have, kind of cleared up a little bit, but there's a lot of debris down. So we talked to Ferndale about that. Maybe middle of this week, next, couple days, we hope that they'll be able to get out. Davey is still doing loose brush pickup this week. They were on doing loose brush pickup last week and chipping a lot of large limbs. Their equipment can do about 15-inch maximum limbs. Bigger than that requires a crane truck for them to take away. So the chipping crews can only do that. But if it's out, they'll do it.
Okay.
So they
Is
were
that
out.
for all streets, or is that? Oh, great.
Yes. So they cleaned it up last week. They're coming again this week. So have it out tonight,
Okay.
and to be sure that they'll be able to take it. Because again, they're going to go down the streets, and once they do, they're not coming back continuously. I don't know what the bill for all of this is going to be. So
We'll figure it out.
figure that out.
You sound like my wife.
Yeah. I wanted to run through some things. It's 10 years,
Wow.
like this month, since the Gainsborough Park project
Crazy.
was done. So this is just, I had some at the very beginning of construction photos from 2016 and then today to just kind of, show
It's crazy.
show that. I do want to also recognize Jake. I'm glad you're here as well. That you can, it's not in this frame, but the little library is just off to the left, and Jake's been great about building it and maintaining it. And I know he's got some future plans for an improvement that we've been working together on, and it's all Jake's work. So look forward to that. I don't want to let anything out of the bag if you didn't want me to, Jake, but
We're adding some bricks underneath it, so it's not dirt, that's all.
yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
But there it is. It'll be really nice.
Cool.
I wish the pictures from 2016 were a little bit better. But the new ones look great.
Yeah, it's great how, like, with the solar lighting thing and stuff like that, that's so fun.
The
Yeah.
stained glass was done by Lady Liz right behind, by where Gainsborough Park is.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Yeah, she does stained glass and artist in the area.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Nice.
cool.
Really cool. Yeah, so some of these, it's, kind of forget what it used to be like. But this is my favorite part where the street turned into
Mhm.
pathway. And you can see there's the mural coming in.
Coming in. That's cool.
This is a big improvement in this area too.
Yeah.
Where the tennis courts, you just come right up to the road. Kind of had a prison yard feel.
Mm.
It's a lot softer now.
Yeah, that whole building is just crazy good.
Yeah.
Well, and the landscaping and everything around that's so nice.
Yeah, that's so much nicer.
But the vibe here is quite good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And the floor is level in that building now.
Metal and dry.
Also an improvement, yeah.
All crumbly.
Yeah, this one's pretty unfortunate right here.
Yeah. But I will tell you, last Wednesday?
Yes, I took pictures.
That downed tree became a gathering spot.
All
Like,
of them.
people were just sitting on it.
Yeah.
with-
Should make it a bench.
Honestly, I took a picture because I was going to send it to Anne and say for the Arts Council. It was like amazing. Parents were watching their kids play, and they were like all filled with people just sitting on all of the
Yeah,
trees.
it was hilarious.
It was actually really nice.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah, it was weirdly nice. I mean, not nice, but
Pin that for, I can share later. In California, there was a park that was basically just that. It was like a giant fallen tree that was like sanded, so it didn't give splinters, but the kids loved it because
Yeah.
there's something to playing on a tree.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Mhm.
That old butte.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just a few more. Humor me.
It's gorgeous.
Well, I do get constant comments from people, and it's like, it's fun when people have just discovered the park who have come in from out of town, and they're like, where are we?
Yeah.
And they just really love and appreciate the sort of the peaceful path.
Yeah.
FYI, I think that turtle that was in the picture was originally right next to the old PR pool.
Oh, was it?
Huh.
Yeah.
As somebody who's lived on Woodside for 50-some years,
And like those old ashtray benches at the pool are at the dog park too.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, those.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to believe it's been 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
10
Right.
It is hard to believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and as it's settled in too, as you know, everything has grown and sort of.
Yeah.
So it looks really pretty.
Yeah, some of the trees are starting to form a canopy over the walkway in a lot of places now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And it's very well used. Like there's barely any daylight time where it isn't used.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
It was hard taking pictures this morning to wait for people to go out of frame, so I was taking their picture, sort of unauthorized.
Yeah, that's great.
I just have a couple more things. One more thing. Devonshire water main. It's stuck in permitting at the WRC.
Okay.
So it has to be approved by SACWA, then it goes to the Oakland County WRC, then it goes to the state. I don't know why, but the WRC is now trying to require a larger setback from the property line, than they did for Kensington and Oakdale. So we were able to put the water main under the sidewalk.
Right.
For those. Now they want to add another 5 feet, which would put it underneath all the trees. Which gets a little complicated because now you're trying to put a water main in underneath all the existing trees, and then
To the area between the sidewalk
Yeah.
and the street?
yeah, yep. And then every time you have to do a service lead or make a new connection, you have to dig in there, and so
Yeah.
you're going to be cutting all of the tree roots.
Yeah.
In a and it's when it's under the sidewalk, it's offset. It's still very close to the trees. You lose some tree roots, but it's still offset,
Yeah.
and it helps quite a bit. So we're having a bit of a discussion with the WRC about what they're doing right now, and what the purpose of all this is. So we'll see. But long story short, the fact that it's been there with them for 6 weeks, and I'm getting involved now because the engineers haven't been able to shake them loose. It has to go to the state after this. So Devonshire's probably not happening this year.
It's just not enough time, even
Yeah.
if we started.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if we can try to get the water main, the actual infrastructure part of the work done, no restoration would be done until the spring. So we'd have a winter of everything's being in a half finished, torn up state. I don't really love the idea of that. So we might be looking at next spring for the Devonshire water main at this point.
Does that have any impact on our schedule of all streets?
No, the money's there, and the plan is there, and the budget is there. So we're working on the Wellesley water main. I think what might happen is we might just pair those two projects up if we can get the Wellesley water main permitted as well, because they're still in design for that. So we might just do double the fund next year.
Right. Yay.
Yay. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, any questions?
No, so we can start talking to neighbors and just sort of warn them that it's probably nothing's gonna happen this year, we don't think,
We don't.
unless it does.
It's not looking good.
Okay, all right.
Or maybe it is looking good. I don't know. It depends on your perspective.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, other business.
Yeah, Mayor. If
Yeah.
I could. Yeah, thanks for taking us trip down memory lane too. That was cool to see the
Yeah.
park side by side. Yeah, and then in the spirit of recreation, I just want to say thanks to Brian Presti. If you don't know, he's kind of our MC at the swim meets. Fantastic. Could be a radio. Yeah, a voice for sure. So it's always fun, and I always get comments from the opposing team. If you're talking, you're waiting for your swimmers. This guy's really good. So this is just part of that community thing, and we're in the spirit of recreation. It's just volunteers and dads like Brian that make this such a special community and just one of the many. So thanks for coming, and thanks
you.
for
Thank you.
all that. Yeah.
We are PR.
Yeah. Anything else?
One quick thing, from the school board thing there is on the August 4th ballot, there is going to be a millage vote, so look into it. It is to help support the teachers. How would you clarify, the teachers and the personnel?
It's for all
to
of
help-
Oakland County.
Yeah, which supports the kids a lot more. We've been losing a lot, and you spoke to it better than I can, but we're losing a lot of talented teachers and staffing to other counties because Oakland County does not have this funding.
And we're one of the only ones, I think, in this area that do not have this
That's right.
extra. So it gets, brings in $700 plus for each student, and it can be used towards salaries, which is really important. So, but it does need to be approved by the whole county
Right.
at 51%. And if anyone's interested, spoke in detail at the last meeting. The school superintendent came, so there's a lot of information. At the last
And in general, everyone that requested an absentee ballot should have received it by now. If you haven't received your absentee ballot, give City Hall a call. They'll check to make sure that your application is there. They can get you set up so that you're able to vote on August 4th absentee.
If you need to change your vote, can you do so?
Absolutely. So the question was, can you change votes? Yes, absolutely. They call that spoiling your ballot. So again, reach out to City Hall, our city clerk, and she can set up a new ballot for you. And I think that's all I've got. All right. Ready to adjourn?
Move we adjourn?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're out of here. Thanks, everyone.
Supers, kid.